there is something we need. It's a leap of faith, a step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run, standing on your knees? It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare.
All right, so everyone, this is the new tool day. So new tools, what does that mean? So I'm going to try to show you once a week something new. And it might be not new to like the art world or to the community, but it's kind of something that you don't think of, and maybe something new that I just recently got. So I got these kind of cool looking things, and you look at it and you're like, it's a bottle with a weird cap. It's got some numbers on them. I wonder what you do. Well, what you do with these is you fill them with water or alcohol if you're using alcohol inks. Alcohol, not the kind you drink, but you know, like isopropyl alcohol. Way off topic there, but this is what they are. I got a set of 3 and then this random one that I think my mom gave me. So what's so cool about these are, if I can get the lid off, they have a brush. So I don't know if you can see it, but like my finger is getting wet because the water comes through here and you refill that. And then you have a little brush. And they come in different sizes. They do stain. So you can tell I used green and it does stain. These work great with the Derwant Inktense blocks, but they also work, here's a flat one, work great for watercolors. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to play with. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of about how they work. I don't even have any water in my my jar because we're going to just pretty much use this. And this is a number 1, so this is like the smallest size. Number 2 is more of a, I would guess if I had to compare it to one of my brushes, it's about the same width, and this is a size 6. So this is maybe about equivalent to a size 6. And then this is the flat one, which is very juicy. It has a lot of water. So I was trying to think of what we can do. I'm just going to prime it. You squeeze the bottle, the water starts it coming out, and there you go. I have a wet brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do, what can I do? Let's just do some random little abstract things. So I'm just going to squeeze it to get it good and juicy. I'm going to wet, here's a pink. This is my favorite pink. It's opera pink. It's very, 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 very bright. But basically you can load up your brush. And we're just going to do, I'm just going to do a circle. Let's get some more water on that brush. There we go. And we'll just blend this out. This is just going to be just to show you kind of what these devices do. But there you go. These would be great if you take them outside and you want to paint outside. I think that would work out really well because that way you just fill them up with water and then you don't have to worry about having, you know, water with you. We'll just put out a little purple to him or her. I guess it's more of a her. To clean them off, you're just going to squeeze a little bit of water and you just wipe them on paper towel. Now the brushes, I could dip them in water if I wanted to, and it would make it a little more juicy and wet. But I'm just going to give the bottle a little squeeze every once in a while just so I can get this blue kind of spread out. So as far as technique, this would be a wet on dry. Right now, adding this blue in here. Not bad for little on the fly circles. He's a little flat, but not too bad. These are pretty versatile little brushes, and they actually work pretty well. And if you ever are trying to come up with something to paint, or you just need some stress reduction, try painting a bunch of circles. You can make them interlock, like I'll do one. I think this is dry enough now. You can't do them too close to each other where they're touch if they're still wet, because then you'd have a problem. They would run together. But I think these are dry enough now, or I could probably do, I'll do a big one here. Yeah, just like the mindless, like the circles where you can just do maybe a bunch of lines. It's a good way to just kind of relax. And if you're not comfortable with drawing circles because you're afraid that you'd botch a circle, just get something and we can draw them all out with pencil. You know, you got cookie cutters, lids, glasses that you can use as a template, and just do a little pencil line around it. And then just spend an hour filling in your circles. It'd be pretty cool. Of course, you know, if you pick the wrong blue, that could be a problem. Start with one blue, end with another blue. Yeah. Let's see, my circles are wonky. It's all right. I did one of these one time and I filled the whole page with them. And then I went back and did like zigzags and lines. It was one day when I was at the park office and it was a really slow day. And I was just trying to find something to do. And that's what I did. Be careful too when you start pushing on that and you get the water out. Sometimes that water will drip out pretty quick. And you all of a sudden end up with a big blob. But I've taken these outside and painted outside, and it's fun. Just means you have less to, you just have to carry your little paint palette and your little pad of paper and your little brushes. And size 6 regular brush is probably the one I would use the most anyway. So this actually works out good. Just doing circles. Not doing anything that takes any kind of talent. These would also work really well if you've got one of those coloring books that's got the heavier weight paper where you could do like watercolor. Like the thin coloring books, probably it wouldn't work well. But if you have one of those more, they make them, it's a watercolor book, coloring book. This would be a fun way to do it. But yeah. Easy peasy. You could get all, once, you know, you could get all involved in this and make shadows and crazy lines. Make it all look all spacey and cool, but it's good for relaxing. So that is one tool. And then let's see, there's the flat brush, which does seem a little bit more juicy. I don't know. Let's see, what can we do? I guess for this one I could. Generally when I do this, I usually will do the lines with like a pen. Yeah, you could. Make a little line. Yeah, just fun. So that is my one new tool. Little water brushes. They come with caps. They're easy to travel with. They work really, really great. They make multiple brands. This is the Derwant brand. This one is, I am not sure. So if you know, leave a comment. I don't see any kind of marking on it. These also work good with watercolor pencils. So the other little cool gadget I got is this. And this is glass and it's beautiful. I'm always nervous taking this little rubber top off because this is glass and so it could break. But this is a glass pen. It's a hand-blown glass pen. These come in handy when you are doing things like, let's see, I'll do it with one of these circles and we'll see if it works. We'll do let's see, we don't have a green one. Let's do a green one. Here's the aqua. I had pre-mixed some green. Again, I'm doing all of this and I don't have a jug of water. So great if you are on the go. All right, so we'll do another. There's our little too damp. We'll do one right here. Let me get some water flowing. But you can see how that water comes down the neck. Oh, I can get this wet enough for this to really work. Glass pens are great for kind of adding in lines, and depending on how wet your paper is will depend on the effect you get. So I'll try to show you here. I'm getting it pretty juicy wet. Spreading out that greeny blue color. And the learning curve on using these brushes is also pretty easy. So let's say I did this with a leaf. I could go and I could just lightly press and I could do some veining in this leaf. And it's just barely indenting the paper, but it's creating that darker line. Isn't that cool? Now, if you went over it with another color, maybe too much, occasionally you can get that color, depending on how wet it is, you can get that color to start tracking up. But it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Sometimes if you wait the right amount of time, you will get, instead of the dark lines, you'll get more of a white. See how that's not quite as dark? That's more of a white. But yeah, these come in handy for lots of different things. So look, there's like a little tree of life in one of my circles. Isn't that cool? So that's my two new tools for this week. I'm gonna rinse this brush off by just squirting water, and you can see it's just dripping out. And then I'll just dry it on my rag. I'll squirt out a little water. And it's good to go. I put the cap on it and I'm done. So I hope you found those helpful. I'll put links to these in the description box. And really very inexpensive. I can't remember what the Derwant was. I'll put that in the description box. But these, I think I got a pack of 3 for like $6. And I would recommend, you know, storing them, making sure you put this little plastic sleeve on the tip just to keep it protected. and then keep it in a safe place. So I only have one out. They're all the same size. I only keep one out in case I break it. That way I have spares. And I keep it in with the rest of my brushes. And I'm pretty careful with it. I hope you found that informative and you got a little something out of it. If so, it'd be awesome if you shared it, liked, and subscribed. Thanks again. Have a super day.
If there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. A step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave.